Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. Well, we're going to have a salad for lunch because Mr. Bucky is going out to buy himself a chainsaw. And what we've decided to do on the property, there's a little, like sort of a little slight ravine down one little side of the property, and that's where all those little small pine trees, they're about that big around. There's probably about 50 of them. And so what he's going to do is use a chainsaw and cut all of those down, and we're going to plant fruit trees there, persimmon, we might plant pear, I'm not sure about that, but apple, we'll probably plant a couple of peach trees. So there's plenty of room down there to do that. Plus, because it's sort of on a down slope there, I think they'll get plenty of water. Anyway, so today we're going to have a salad, and I've already got everything cut up and ready. But I thought of a little story I wanted to tell. This is to do with my grandmother. Now, my grandmother's background is she was I guess her mother and her father were both from Scotland, and also my grandfather on my mother's side, they were also from Scotland. So they use some words sometimes that you didn't understand to start with. Just everyday kind of things they would mention, and you'd go, what? What did you say? You know, I mean, they didn't speak with an accent or anything like that, but just certain words. Like my grandmother, I think I mentioned this on a video before, when she wanted you to help her, she'd say, come on and hope me. Spelled H-O-P-E, hope me. I don't know. But anyway, here's one. I think when I first heard my grandmother use this word, I was probably, I'm going to guess, about 8 years old. And I remember we were sitting at the table, you know, at her house having a meal. And there were a lot of the cousins were there, and other, the children. I mean, mother had 7 brothers and a sister, so there were 9 children. So they were all married and had children. So somebody had a baby there, and as I recall, the baby was maybe about 4 or 5 months old, not real old, you know, not walking or anything yet. And the baby started crying, and my grandmother said, give me that baby, let me nuss him. And, you know, to start with, you think, is she going to nurse that baby? You know, that's sort of what you thought. But that isn't what nuss that baby means. Nuss means she got the baby and held him up close and just jarred him a little. That's what she called nussing the baby. And my grandmother would use that word, and my mother sometimes used it. And the other thing they did, and I saw my grandmother do this, and I saw my mother do it, if they were eating, you know, back then they had baby food, but not the big variety they've got now. But they would be eating and chew it up real fine, and then take a little bit out and feed it to the baby. So, and I definitely saw my mother do that with both my younger brother David and my younger sister Wanda. I can definitely remember seeing her do that. And they'd just give them a little bit, and that way the baby didn't have to chew it, you know. And so they would, you know, maybe green beans, chew them all up, and just take a little bit out, put it in the baby's mouth. So anyway, years later, I was watching the Discovery Channel one night, and this was about moose, and how the mother cow, I think they call moose, the mother moose, had, you know, the little baby, and they were telling how the mother licks the baby's mouth to introduce enzymes in the baby's mouth so the baby can digest the vegetation that moose eat. And so I thought, you know, that's really probably the effect that it has with babies too, that the mother takes something out of her mouth that she's chewed all up and gives it to and that introduces the enzymes to the baby, and then the baby starts producing them. That's what I'm thinking. I thought, I mean, nature has a way, right? But anyway, my grandmother definitely, let me nuss that baby. And so that would mean, give me the baby and let me hold the baby and see if I can get the baby to stop crying. And sure enough, it would work, because of course babies like to be bounced a little bit, and they like to be held not real tight, but securely. So she would, of course my grandmother had big, you know, and so she would hold the baby there and just kind of jar it a little bit, and the baby would just go to sleep magically. So That's what they call nussing the baby. All right, so enough of the stories. Anyway, I just thought of that this morning, and I was wondering if there was anybody else that had ever heard that term, nussing the baby. Let me nuss that baby would be the way you would use the word. And so if somebody had a baby, the baby's crying or whatever, give me that baby, let me nuss that baby. And you'd hold it up tight and just jar it a little bit, or either get up and walk around with it and just jar it a little bit. That's what my grandmother called nussing the baby, and mother called it that too. So anyway, of course, I never used that term with my babies. I thought, ooh, they're really old-fashioned. You don't do that. Now we put babies in swings and all these little contraptions that jar them around, and make them go to sleep or keep them pacified maybe. But anyway, I've got another one. I got to tell you this one. They had another one, and I guess this was a term people really used, and it was called a sugar tit. Y'all ever heard that term? A sugar tit. And so, of course, I asked my grandmother, well, what is that? So what that is a type of old-fashioned, really old-fashioned pacifier. So what they would do is take some kind of rag, thin rag, like even sheeting or something, and just a little round part of it, and put a little sugar or molasses or something sweet in it. Then you wind it up and tie a big knot in the end of it. It leaves a little thing out about that far from the knot, and the baby sucks on it. It's like a homemade pacifier. That's really what it was. I can't think of anything else other than I do remember that, of course, this was before the days of disposable diapers. And I remember Mama would talk about people who, when the baby just wet the diaper, they would just rinse it with water real quick and hang it out on the line, and some people didn't even rinse it. Just hung it out on the line to get dry, and next time the baby wet, the baby was getting a used diaper. Can you believe that? They did that, though. And I guess, back then they didn't even have washing machines, so they were washing in these great big tubs, where you boil the water outside and use sticks and, agitate it up and down. That's the way they did it. So I guess that sort of eliminated some of the washing, but I couldn't even imagine. But Mama said people definitely did that. So that was just a way to help them, I guess, And of course, I remember when the first, I guess they were, I forget what you call those pants, the plastic rubber pants or something. And I remember the first ones really were rubber, and they fit real tight around the baby's legs like a little pair of pants, and of course the diaper was under them. I do remember those, but anyway, I don't know how I got all off on that. But anyway, we're having a salad for lunch, so here we go. Now I'm trying to use up some of the stuff we got in the refrigerator that I bought really before we went to the mountains. And so anyway, this is the last of the spinach. I used part of it this morning in the smoothie and just decided to save some of it for a salad for lunch, because Mr. Bucky's going to be leaving soon to go get the chainsaw, so we'll just have a quick salad. And it is going to be kind of a fruit salad. And in our smoothie this morning, I think it was only like 14 ounces. So we're, well, let's see what time it is. Oh, it's almost 2 o'clock. So that smoothie lasted longer for us than I thought it would. All right, so we've got a little bed of baby spinach. All right, and so on top of that, I'm going to put some apples that I peeled, sectioned out a while ago. So that would be an apple apiece basically on the plate. And I've got some pineapple. Now this was previously frozen pineapple from Walmart. So I'll put a little bit of that on there. And then these are the strawberries I got last week. When we got ready to go to the mountains, I just stuck them in the freezer, stems and all. So they're thawed out now, mostly. So I'll put those on there. and I'm going to have a cinnamon bun, also from Walmart. Now these cinnamon buns are called gourmet cinnamon buns. So Bucky's already had 2 of them yesterday when I came in, and then he had another one a little later, so I guess he thought they were pretty good. I didn't have one, but I'm going to have one with the lunch today. And this is the rest of some Swiss cheese I bought last week. I don't even remember for what. So I'm going to put that around too. I just sliced it up in little squares, or sort of bite-sized pieces. I do think Swiss goes really, really well with fruit. It goes especially well with fruit. Yeah, it's funny how you think of those things that your grandparents did, or even your parents did, that we just don't do anymore, I don't know, maybe we need to get back to our, the ways our ancestors did stuff, because I think they did okay. Get this cheese apart here. See, this is just sliced baby Swiss, I think is what it's called. Okay, so now all I need to do is warm up the cinnamon buns in the microwave, and we'll be back and put some dressing on this salad. So we'll be back in just a minute. All right, I have warmed up the cinnamon buns. These are from Walmart. They call them gourmet cinnamon buns. I guess they call them that because they're so big. But anyway, Bucky says they're real good. So on top of this salad, I'm going to put some sliced almonds, just right on top. And I'm going to use some strawberry dressing on these. Now the way I made this, it's nothing in the world but the Welch's Natural Strawberry Spread. And here's the thing, it has no high fructose corn syrup. Not that I have any big problem with that, but here's the thing. It tastes better than actual real strawberries, but of course it's got all natural in it. But they use sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. So it makes a great dressing. So all I did was just scoop out some and put about 3 tablespoons of water in it, put it in the microwave, just heat it up just a little bit, and it becomes a, thick salad dressing for fruit. So we'll just put a couple of little spoonfuls all around. Anyway, I love this strawberry spread. It is great in a peanut butter sandwich. It is fantastic. I actually had some of the other type strawberry spread with the high fructose, and I actually threw it away because this is so much better. All right, so we've got spinach on the bottom, and we've got apple, and fresh apple, strawberries, pineapple, and Swiss cheese, and some almond slivers or slices, and just a little strawberry dressing. And then we've got a nice big cinnamon roll. Anyway, this is lunch, so for supper we're having leftovers, so I might do a video of that too, because yesterday I bought one of those rotisserie chickens from Walmart, and it was really, really good, and so I'm going to pick all that off the bone, and we'll have some of that tonight. I might do a video of that, making supper from leftovers. All right, we will see y'all next time. Well, let me give you a close-up. See if I can do this really quick. Turn my camera around. You can't really see because we got light coming in the window pretty good. All right, so there's a close-up of it. And this should certainly hold us till probably about 7 tonight, maybe a little later. We might not eat supper until about 8 tonight. But anyway, I like to try to make leftovers, as tasty as I can possibly make them, so that's what we're going to do tonight. All right, so there we have it. We'll see y'all next time.